It's Monday. Welcome back to the Builder's Diary. I'm the Builder Investor. Let's go. So welcome back to the Builder's Diary, guys. So over the weekend, you can see I'm a little bit starry-eyed because I was up late last night. I've basically been doing quite a bit of work and looking into the numbers and the figures, or profit and loss, things like that on each job, just to try and work out how we can be more profitable on each job. Because I don't know if you know, we work in Stoke-on-Trent. It's not the most affluent area, so if we it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. If we price where we should be, against like the national average, we generally don't win as much work because the area is not as affluent. So we get a lot of, sorry, that's too expensive. So we're stuck in the middle of looking for better customers so as we can charge that little bit more for the service that we give of a design and build service. But yeah, we're stuck between that thing, between those two situations. But also something I've noticed as well is pretty much every job we've ever done, the customers ask for extra items, and due to that fact, we generally go back, do it in the correct order. We send a change of work order over just to identify that we're going to be doing extra works and we're going to have to charge more, and we'll attach the charge to that and get the customer to agree to it, which is fine. But what we've found is, when we're charging the extra, we're not altering the sequencing at all. So the lads have got nothing to go off and they don't know how long those extra bits should take. And before you know it, the job's then overrun. And when a job overruns, obviously there's more labour on there. Labour costs money. And yeah, that's kind of what takes us over from what I can see. But also something else that I've mentioned before in episode 3, I think it was, that sometimes I will find like 4 lads doing a 2 or 3 man job. Are you with me? Sometimes I'll go on and all 4 of them have jumped on something because it's raining, and it's not particularly their fault. It's probably mine more for not, I don't like to micromanage, but I think there's the point where sometimes you just have to give them a nudge and make them work in the way that you need to as a business, not as tradesmen. Are you with me? Not what's best for them, just to get the job done. So we've got a lot of work to do on that today. We're going to go through every job, try and resequence, look at what extras have come in on jobs that we've already got, and then new jobs we're going to start from scratch on them, just to make sure that we can maintain profitability, because we don't want to start scaling the company if it's not fully lean, profitable, and and working in its best way. So we need to just jump on site now. I'm just going to have a drive over to 2 sites. So want to have a quick look at where the guys are. I've just looked at the software, picked up roughly where they are off that. So just going to nip up, have a look where they're up to, get some footage as well while I'm out there. And then we need to get back into the office, and we're going to have a busy day, long busy day, searching through each job, trying to work out exactly where it is we can make ourselves a lot more lean. So just nipped in here at the Daisy Bank job. Lads seem to be cracking on with it okay. Had a bit of problem with the weather to getting these flags finished off, but got a dry morning this morning, so trying to get that finished. And then we can get back inside, finish plastering basically. So the office is all now done, it's ready for second fix. Just got to finish skimming in the kitchen, and then kitchen should turn up Saturday, and then we can basically get that fitted. Unfortunately, that's going to fall on me because we cannot get a kitchen fitter this late in the day. The one we had, his missus has just had a baby, so he's off work for a few weeks. So yeah, pretty much all plastering's done, all the flooring's now down. We'll just get some skirting board around this. I'm not sure if we're miscoating or not, I'll have to just double check. But if we are, we'll get it miscoated. We'll just use a spray gun. It's going to be a hard in here 'cause it's quite small. It's going to create a lot of, probably might be better doing it with a roller. But yeah, just little bits finishing off now. This place is done. We're just trying to finish off in the kitchen now. Kitchen's coming on Saturday this week. So hopefully we can start getting that fitted then. Back in the van. Gonna have to make that a catchphrase, aren't I? So, had a good conversation with the lads regarding what I've been doing this weekend, really. You know what I mean? They need informing, so they're part of the company. So, yeah, just basically told them that we were looking at profitability and stuff like that. And one of the questions back from them, how come it's now a concern and it hasn't been for the past, what, so many years? Now, it suddenly becomes a concern when we have problems in the economy. So like work gets tight, materials got expensive, labour's expensive, so the margins now are a lot tighter than they've ever been. So it's more implicit now that we tighten down things like sequencing and making sure that jobs are coming in on time. Because in the past, especially when I was on site as well, and you know what I mean, I was probably doing a lot of this subconsciously, you know what I mean, just seeing that things need doing, picking up on things, you know, keeping stuff on schedule, all in here, kind of when I was on site. So it just becomes a lot more important now when things get tight, you know what I mean. There's not as much work about. I don't care what anyone says, it's a lot quieter than it's been for a while, and it's all down to the government. I don't want to get into politics because I don't want to start that debate on YouTube, are you with me? And I'm not really that interested, but it does affect us, are you with me? So where we are at the minute, the UK, basically the laughing stock of the world, aren't we? With the amount of tax and, you know what I mean, how they're trying to drive small businesses into the ground. But yeah, what we've got to do is get tighter and leaner basically on this sequencing, making sure that jobs are coming in on time, making sure that lads are working to their strengths, which is what one of the lads has just said on site as well. Maybe, you know, a couple of them are very good at basically getting the foundations dug out, getting it built up to wall plate. So they're saying, why don't we jump onto the next job and do that bit while maybe, you know, young Bip and someone else stays there and gets all the finishing put in place, plastering, you know, kitchen fitting, second fix, stuff like that, you know. So, which I think they've got a valid point there. So I'm going to go back now and look at that. Like I say, we're going to resequence and go from there. I have got a job that I need to price at 2 o'clock this afternoon, so that's just, it's a smaller job, it's a load of walls that want knocking down, steel's putting in and stuff like that. So we'll go and look at that, but in the meantime, let's get back to the office and let's start working on this. So like I've said, guys, I'm here for you to hold me accountable to see what's going on. I know how to run a job, and in the property world, you know what I mean, doing refurbishments and almost building houses as well, it's a lot easier to sequence, you know what I mean. It's a lot easier to make sure that it comes in on budget. One, because the profit margins are a lot bigger, and two, you're a lot more involved, are you with me? I'm not kind of just leaving the lads to it with that kind of stuff. So yeah, but let's get back to the office now. So just got back to the office and faced with well, not faced with, I do this pretty much every Monday morning. Obviously we're selling that bungalow, so it's in conveyancing, so I have a bit of a nurture sequence with the solicitors and with the agents and stuff like that, which is basically me giving them a kick up the arse to try and get it sorted quicker, because conveyancing just takes an absolute age, and for no reason, to be honest. You know what I mean? In theory it could be done in a few days, and it gets stretched out weeks and weeks and weeks, if not months sometimes. So I kind of nurture it and push it along now. I've got one side, you know, my solicitor saying they're waiting for inquiries to be raised, And then you go to the opposite solicitor and they say they haven't had the title deed, and it's like, yes, you have, because I know, because I sent it to my solicitor weeks ago and it was forwarded over to you. So, and I was copied into the email, so I know you've got it. So they tell a lot of lies as well, some solicitors. So my solicitor's pretty good, you know what I mean? I've been using her a long time, so she knows what she's doing. So, but unfortunately, you can't choose the solicitors for the other side. You can try to. You know, when we buy a property, we generally put legals in as part of the deal, which they think's good because they save, what, 1,500 quid. But it helps us nurture it a lot easier, so we can get involved and push them along. Are you with me? So, but yeah, we wanted it completed before Christmas because we need the money out of it to go to the next one. So that's what's holding us up massively at the moment. I wonder how many of you can actually recognise that music. Guess who I'm on the phone to again? HMRC, trying to sort out CIS stuff now. So, been on hold about 10 minutes, so that's not bad yet for HMRC. Let's see how long we are actually on hold trying to sort this out. You know what I mean? I've got papers everywhere at the minute. Just trying to sort this issue out, and you're up against this, waiting constantly to try and speak to someone. So, as you can probably still hear, still on hold for HMRC. So, like we spoke about this morning, getting sequencing in place and things like that, and actually running the projects and actually running a business, so difficult at the minute because you spend half your life doing shit like this, which is basically boring admin, because of the amount of legislation, the amount of taxation and stuff that they bring in place. Obviously that brings alongside that a load of admin that has to be done. Are you with me? So the government are just not letting us run our companies. You know what I mean? They're tying us up with admin and red tape and stuff like that constantly. And when it actually comes to running the company, it's just, yeah, we haven't got time to because of dealing with all of this crap. Back in the van again. So we're now off just to have a look at this job. It's basically a load of walls what we're moving, just open up. Basically they want this property that they've just bought open plan, so they've sent me like a little drawing that they've done themselves of walls that they want removing, but there's no measurements on there, no opening sizes or nothing like that. So go have a quick look at that now, get back to the office, try and get it quoted, and then we can crack on with what we were doing before. So today seems to have just run away with itself. So as you can see from behind me, it's dark now. So what we're looking at now, it's now 5:30, and I haven't got anywhere near as much done than I thought I was going to today. So I had my stall set out this morning, and I wanted to get quite a lot of stuff transferred into this new bit of software, so we could start using it and going forward and tracking jobs and things like that. I've actually looked into previous jobs to try and see where, you know, we're losing out basically. So it's not that we're not profitable, you know what I mean? We go through the jobs and we get through them okay. We make bits of money here and there, but it's, you know, it's got to a point where we can do a lot better. And I don't want to, like I keep saying this, I don't want to grow the company until we've got to that point where we're doing the best we can at that, you know, at that level. When we've got to the best available point at that level, then we'll grow that. Are you with me? So you're far better growing something that's profitable than something that's not as profitable. Are you with me? So, but yeah, I haven't got anywhere near as much as I was supposed to have done today. Just because it's been taken up by stupid little admin tasks, a little bit of firefighting that I've told myself I wouldn't do, but it was stuff that was important that needed doing. Are you with me? So, you know, if it didn't get done, it'd have a knock-on effect and end up costing money. So this is the problem with the firefighting, isn't it? So, but yeah, I'm just going to tidy up now with what I'm doing. I've got that quote to do that I went out to look out today. I'm going to try and get that done and get that over so it's out the way. It's only a small one. And then we're going to basically do a bit of a ghoster. I'm going to be in here quite late tonight. So I'll wait for the wife to come home. We'll have a bit of tea and then I'll be back in here. So I probably won't come back and do another update till tomorrow morning, but I'll let you know how it's gone then. Cheers guys. Wish me luck. Morning guys, Tuesday today. So got a few things in my diary. As you can see, not even bothered opening the blinds this morning because it's still dark again. So becoming a recurring pattern. Just this time of year, honestly, it affects me quite a lot because, like I've said, you'll probably notice I mention it pretty much every day. So you start work in the dark and you finish work in the dark. Sometimes you don't see the sunlight. Are you with me? So that time of year though, isn't it? But yeah, got this morning, got another extension to go out and have a look at. So we'll go and look at that. I've literally been in here already, down in that chair, since probably about 7 o'clock this morning, just trying to get a quote sorted. So I'm halfway through that now. I'll have to leave that because I need to go and look at this job now. I've got to then get back here. Got a carpet fitter that's coming to the office. I've got to meet to discuss another job on some stairs. And then after that, I've got another appointment. Can't quite remember what it is though. I'll have to have a quick look at my diary. And then obviously I've either got to get back in here and carry on doing quoting, getting bits and bobs done, or I can go and give the lads a shove on site over at Daisy Bank. So what I'll do, I'll give them a call, just see where they're at first. So let's get on the road now, get sorted, and then we can make that decision this afternoon. So back in the van. I'm definitely making that a catchphrase. But yeah, I've just looked at my calendar, got this extension to price now. So go up and look at that. It's a pretty decent job this one is, by the look of the drawings. And it's literally across the road from the bungalow that we've just built. So I don't know if they've seen us building that, seen the hoarding and stuff like that we have up. But yeah, go and look at that one now. We've then got to be back to meet that carpet fitter, just to have a bit of a meeting with them about another project. And then after, we've got another job to price with some damp proofing basically. We've got a property that's been refurbed last year, I think. They've had tenants in it for a year, but when they've come to do the void and they've come to do the changeover, they've noticed spots of damp in a fresh refurb. So classic example, terraced house, people have used modern methods, plasterboards, things like that, and haven't addressed the actual damp issues firsthand. Are you with me? So go and have a look at that. That's for somebody that I know who's called me and just asked if I can help. And then, like I say, back in the office then or on site. So just message the lads of trying to get them involved in all this YouTube, ask them if they'll get some clips, and if they can talk to camera and explain what's happening, even better. Let's see if we can rope them in. So got to the job, can't get in because it's a gated property, and obviously the gate's closed, it's automatic, so electric gates. And then I'm stood here for about 5 minutes trying to work out how to get in, and a Range Rover pulls down. It's the lady that's owns the property, and she just said, I've just got to drop my son off at school, do you mind waiting? It's like, why are you arranging appointments at 9 o'clock when you're not available at that time? So, but yeah, I'm now here waiting. So, not like I've got stuff to do, but yeah, customer's always right. So it's a bit of I think it's an old farm, so quite a lovely place. So basically they've got the granny annex there, they bought this property between them, so we've basically got to extend that up and out this way. So just having a quick walk around now just to see where drainage is and stuff like that. So got to be fully aware that there's a drain running across here by the look of it. So there's one drain there, there's one there, and there's one at the other side of that door. So doesn't seem to be any on this side. So just nipped back to meet that carpet fitter, sorted out with him, all done and dusted now. He's got all his measurements and everything that he needs to give us the quote. So just jumping back in the van now, and now off to look at another job. So basically this is, like I explained before, damp issues, and basically it's a property that's already been refurbed. People have been in it for a year, they've moved out and they've noticed a load of damp issues because the refurb's not been done correctly in the first place. So let's go have a butcher's at that. That is the second property that I've seen this week that has had a refurb done by deal packagers. So if you don't know what a deal packager is, it's someone that finds you an investment property, charges you for finding it, and then obviously does a refurb on it for you as well, and then charges you a project managing fee, and you know, you pay for the refurb via their builder and what have you. Yeah, so this is the second property I've seen this week where they've had a refurb done by these deal packagers, deal sourcers, whatever you want to call them, and they've done the refurb badly, whereas they've basically been tenanted for just 1 year and they've now got problems with damp. So it's been done incorrectly. So it's literally here a list of jobs that I've now got to sort out for that one. Yeah, so just honestly, I've been banging on about this now for a few years, that these deal packages doing refurbs, they haven't got a clue what they're doing. They're just relying on a builder. The builder's just going to take the easy option just to get his money and, you know, and get in and out sometimes. So we're not all decent builders out there, you know what I mean? Some of them are fucking cowboys, let's face it. But yeah, so now got to quote that. But it's a shame because this property looks lovely inside. There's certain parts that are like, yeah, why has he done that? And can't believe he's left something like that. Absolute mess. But yeah, it's wrong. People are taking money off people for doing this stuff and not doing it properly. This is why I do this refurbishment masterclass that I do. You know what I mean? To try and teach these people how to do it properly. So, and then just to add to things, I've just fucking reversed out on the road and obviously can't see a thing because it's absolutely peeing it down, and obviously couldn't see in my mirrors anyway, and ended up fucking bumping into a telegraph pole in the van. Let's go and have a look and see what bastard damage is this she's done. Normally it'd be one of the lads and I'd be going mental, but this time it's me. I haven't had a bump now for, got to be 20 years. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's split the bumper. Shit. I'll have to get that repaired. Basically doing quotes probably till the early hours, so I've just got one done. So yeah, that was for some damp proofing work that we've been out and priced earlier. So it's not like me, I normally take, you know what I mean, I normally get my quotes in the system, which is all on there, and then it takes me probably, I don't know, a week or so just to get around to actually getting them done and getting them out. But I'm trying to work now, whereas if a quote comes in and I'm in the office, I like to now get it done and get it out as soon as possible, so because it looks, you know, it looks good for the customer sooner you get it out, and then obviously we can touch base and follow up on that. So basically I've got two more to do. We've got one for, you know, damp proofing work that we went and looked at earlier, that's the other one, and then one that's just come back. So we basically went out to see a customer about 12-13 weeks ago about a side extension, and they wanted to extend on the front of the property as well, so they needed planning permission. So we went with the architects measured up, submitting drawings for planning permission, and yesterday that came back as approved. So we've just had the drawing sent over to us now so we can do a proper quote, and get that over to them to basically, he wants to start that around about April next year, which fits in really well with what we've got up on our board there. So we need to get that one done, get that one over to him, like a preliminary quote, because we've only got literally planning drawings, so we can't really do a full quote yet, but we can get him an idea, get that over to him, and hopefully we can get that booked in. And then if it's booked in, that's another job in the catalogue. And that will allow us then to start thinking about scaling slightly, taking on a couple more men, and hopefully get someone in that bloody desk across from me to take away some of this admin work. So let's see how it goes, see if the quote comes back okay for him, and we'll go from there. But meanwhile, guys, I'm going to sign off. I'll probably be in here till the early hours, but I will see you again tomorrow. It's Wednesday morning. I'm up. Let's get this stuff in the van. So just got to get now up to Daisy Bank, drop that paint off so the lads can miscoat some of the plastic. Got to drop some drawings off for a plot of land that we've offered on. Just take the drawings back to them. And then, yeah, just probably going to do a bit of work while I'm up at Daisy Bank, so it's not a wasted journey just driving up there. Get back into the office, got 2 extensions that I need to get quotes out for as well. Want to try and get them out this week, because obviously we've got Christmas around the corner. If we can get them out and get a yes or no on them before Christmas, that'd be good for us. To get over there now. So back over at Daisy Bank. It's literally finishing touches now. I've got to build a set of steps, basically off the patio down from the drive. We've got a miscoat. There's bits of plastering we need to finish, and then the kitchen is coming on Saturday, so look at starting, get that fitted, get the floor tiles, and then it's basically handover to the customer. She can decorate that once radiators and second fixing and everything's done. Just with Bip now at the minute. He's just stacking some bricks, waiting for Ben. He's just gone to pick up some materials. So why are you stacking the bricks like that then, Bip?
Basically the bricks have been left out wet, as you can see down there. So you dry them out, you got to stack them like this, so leave the gaps, allows the airflow coming through, gets the wind on them, basically dries them out.
Dries them out so you're not laying them wet.
Simple as that.
Little lesson for you there, guys. I've just got to go and nip. We're a bag of bonding short, so rather than going all the way back to our usual suppliers or ordering it or something like that, you know what I mean, it's going to take a long time. So there's a Travis Perkins round the corner. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but we need it for just carry on. So I'm just going to nip and grab that. We've got 2 lads off sick this morning, so that leaves us quite understaffed. So it's a good job that I've nipped on site, and I thought I'll put my scuffs on just in case I can give them a hand while I'm there. So, and it's going to end up me now on site for the day. You know what I mean? Try and be positive. You've got to face these situations head on sometimes. So obviously there's nothing I can do, so just crack on, go get S bonding. But we've also got another issue with tools. So this is brand new basically, and I noticed when the lads were doing the slabbing that they weren't using it. So I was like, why aren't they using that? It's brand new. So asked them this morning, he says, oh yeah, it stopped working. The red release button doesn't work. I was like, it's brand new, it's less than a couple of months old. I says, why didn't you say anything? They'd be like, because you'd say that we'd broke it. I said, Luke, it's fair enough. If something stopped working genuinely and it's got warranty on it, then I'll take it back. But yeah, these are the circumstances you have. Obviously, I want everything looking after properly. So when something gets broke, I sometimes get angry. But if it's a genuine case, if it's just stopped working, then it's just stopped working, hasn't it? important it is for a builder to have a brew.
Well, if you don't have a brew, how are you going to get anything done? Just don't make sense, does it?
Some would say the more brews you drink, the less you're going to get done.
No,
Would you say it helps boost productivity?
Definitely. Good brew, good bit of music. What's up, Ben? Hey up!
This is Ben. He's camera shy, doesn't want to be on camera. Tell them all, how long have you been working for me now?
About 12, 13 years.
I think it is 13
No, it
years.
is now.
Yeah, when you started, how old were you? About
17.
16, 17.
17, 18.
Stone.
And, can you remember? I can remember that very first day when I was basically on the digger and you were on a barrow, and I was like, I thought, right, I'm going to get him now, and I piled the barrow up that much, and he still moved it. And he did that all day, and I thought, let's see how much he can actually do, and he did it. Didn't he? I think the guy across the petrol station.
Pencils give you a free drink, don't they?
Yeah, give you a free drink because he felt sorry for you. Keeping the van tidy for once.
Yeah, apart from this fucking oven that Ben wants fucking in his new house.
This chainsaw it's not. You just push this out a bit.
Eh?
Back off site now, back in the office. Think I better jump in the shower first though before I actually sit in that chair. Look at the state of me. So yeah, I ended up staying there for the whole day. So, but I need now to get those 2 quotes done. So again, it's going to be a late one. Hi guys, it's Thursday, and it's also my birthday. Hey, but yeah, if you can see, it's light outside this morning, so I'm a bit later, basically clocking in, whatever you want to call it, getting in the office. Basically had a bit of a lie-in because it's my birthday. But the thing is, I don't know if you guys feel like this. Obviously, you can let me know in the comments below. But when you take a bit of time for yourself or something, when you're in business, especially I think when you're around property and you know it's all go kind of thing, when you take a bit of time, you know, just for yourself, you feel guilty, don't you? I feel guilty now because I've got up slightly later than normal, and obviously I've got a desk full of crap to sort out there. I hate papers lying around, but at the minute I've just got stuff I need to get on with. So I've got a couple of quotes, 2 extensions that I need to get out at some point today. I've got my VAT that I need to pay. I've got my CIS that I need to pay. A few other bits as well. So need to try and get through them today. Probably won't end up on site, so it'll just be me in this office. Still in the office. So this morning managed to get 1 quote done. That's sent over, and I've already got questions back, to which I need to make a phone call now. And then I'm currently on one of the extensions. So you can see there, we're quoting, we use a piece of software called Price a Job. Like I've said, we are in discussions with a new piece of, that's 2 guys that are developing a new piece of software that looks really good. The only issue we're having with it is the quoting's not quite there yet, but the rest of the software, it looks really good. So up until that point, we're going to have to keep using this. But yeah, that's a little side, well, I'll say little, it's not little, it's half decent size, but it's a side extension with a wraparound on the front. So we need to get that one done, and then we've got another one, the one that we went to look at the other day, that you saw the footage of, get that one out, done and dusted as well, and hopefully we should get something back from these. Here's a little tip for you. So we call this the Builder Investors Classroom. Oh, we can't do that, can we? Because that's what Chris does on every trade. I think he's got Chris's classroom, so can't copy him. He might watch this, so probably won't. He's a busy bloke. But here's a little tip for you anyway. Basically, when we do all our pricing, even though we've got software and I've got the experience because I've been pricing for a long time, you do need to make sure your price is right, because the worst thing in the world is when you price a job and you have a bit of an issue, or you know what I mean, it runs over a tiny bit or something like that, and all of a sudden you've found that you're actually making a loss or you're not making any money on that project. So it's best just to double check, if not triple check, your prices before you send them out. One thing I do, obviously, we've got expensive software that we use, but I also use this, you know what I mean? But the last thing I do before I send it out is I get on ChatGPT, I upload the actual quote, so the PDF of the quote. I then tell ChatGPT, the men that will be on that job, what their wages are, so how much they're going to cost me, what my running costs are as well for the company per day or per week or per month or whatever, and it'll sit and work it all out for you and tell you whether your job's profitable or whether it's tight, or are you with me, based on the information that it's got inside its computer or its brain or whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, we literally run it through and it comes back and spits it out. Obviously, you've got to chain ChatGPT. It doesn't know everything about you when you first start using it, so you've got to train it. One thing that I did when I first started using it was I went in and I prompted it to ask me questions about me and my business, so as it understood me better, so as it could give me better answers. So, good tip there. So we're now on with extension number 2. So they take some time actually pricing these. So, and obviously you've got to put quite a lot of effort into it, because the last thing you want to do is get it wrong, because that could ultimately mean making a loss, and we're not in business to make a loss. So yeah, I'll just show you quickly what we've done here. So if you look at that there, you can see where that green outline is. So we're actually extending up as an extension and then across the top as well there. So obviously we can't build that out. And then we've got that window detail there, big tall window. We can't build that out in the pricing software. So what we have to do is build the gubbins of it out. So basically that is this bit. And obviously we've now got to put the dormers on. So we've got that. This roof actually slopes down from there to about here. So we'll have to reduce that amount of brickwork. And we've got all the windows in there. And then what we can do then is we can go up here. And then we can build the dormers out. So yes, can be quite painstaking. Obviously you've got to basically go through the drawing, through any scope of works, any structural calculations, anything like that, and make sure that you pick off every tiny little bit. And obviously build it out and then check and double check before you actually send it, just to make sure that it's correct, the margin's correct, the costs are correct, the timescales are correct. It's quite imperative that it's right. So you want to see some of the steel in this project. It's absolutely crazy. I'll flip the camera around quickly and just show you. So as you can see the beam schedule there, we've got a main beam. Just let me squeeze out. So we've got a main beam that goes all the way across there, and then we've got posts holding ridge beams up, and then wall plate beams. We've got a ridge beam, wall plate beam, ridge beam, wall plate beam, ridge beam, 2 wall plates either side on the brickwork. And then also in the main element, we've got like a frame here. So that's made up, and then that's full of windows. Crazy. So that's me done for today. I'm off for a curry for my birthday, me and the missus. I'm gonna sit, I'm doing nothing tonight, just as a one-off. So I've got square eyes after doing that many quotes today. So, but managed to get through all of them. One of them's already come back and wants to book in. Obviously one of the smaller jobs though, re-roof, few other bits inside a property. But yeah, everything's gone out. Hopefully we'll get some good feedback and maybe get a few of them booked in. Friday morning, it's dark, it's wet, it's raining. but we don't care. Well, we do, because we're trying to lay bricks and build a set of steps. So I'm in the van now, up and out early this morning. Want to get up to the job, or up to one of them anyway, the Daisy Bank job. And basically, I think we're at the point now where we are almost done on our original contract. So there's some extras on there, as we've said the other week. So she wants us to fit the kitchen, tile the kitchen floor, a few other bits. I think she wanted us to mist coat all the plaster, which I think we've already done. So I'm just going up there to check some of these items, just to check them over, because as I said earlier, this is one of the things where we've got a bit of a downfall. When we schedule, well, that's the problem, when we book in new items, so extra items, off a variation from, you know, from the original quote, those items, due to the fact that we're just trying to squeeze them in before we get on to the next job, they're not really programmed and sequenced, are you with me? So I've got to come up with a method to be able to do that, which means kind of keeping some contingency time wise aside for when these extra bits come in, which is difficult because you don't know when they are going to come in or if they are going to come in, are you with me? And the last thing you want is time put aside for something that never happens, and obviously then time's money. So let's get up there now and see what's going on, and then we can get back in the office. And I've got to edit this, so it's probably something that I'm going to outsource at some point. But yeah, need to get back and edit the builder's diary, because that goes out on a Sunday, as you know. You'll probably be watching this one, so see you up there in a minute. So we're here now outside Daisy Bank. This one's pretty much, it's not far off now. It's got to the point, to be honest, where we originally contracted. So we were originally contracted up to plaster, so we should be finished now. But obviously she's had the extras on of fitting the kitchen, tiling the kitchen floor, a few other bits, a few extra radiators. So we've just got to get them finished now, so they are extra works, and then that's a job done for us on this one. We can get on to the next one now. So as you can see at the moment, it's raining, so the lads have come along to the Baskerville Road job just to do a plasterboarding, basically just to give them a bit of something to do until this rain stops, because at the minute they've only got works that they can get onto outside. Let's have a look what they're doing. In the office now, just open my emails, and literally one of the quotes for the extensions that I did yesterday has already been refused. Now this is becoming a pattern, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to blame the government for this. It's basically down to the fact that materials are so expensive at the minute. We are getting record numbers of people coming back to us saying, sorry, the price is just unaffordable to us. So just have a quick look at this email. I'll probably blur out the email address, obviously, because that's a bit of sensitive information. But it generally says, Rob, thanks for taking the time to come and price this extension. But unfortunately, those famous last words, unfortunately, This is way out compared to other prices that we have received. You know what I mean? We've had a good look through the breakdown. I can see any way of reducing to a more realistic price for us. Now, that email in itself tells me that they've obviously had quotes from other people, which is fine. You know what I mean? We expect that. But those quotes are a lot less than ours. And this tells me that there's still builders out there, God knows why, who are buying work to keep going. Now, that's not the way forward. I know people get scared and they think we've got no work, we're not going to be able to pay the bills, you know what I mean, and we're not going to be able to keep staff on and stuff like that. But it's a race to the bottom. Now, if you're in the building industry, you know what I mean, and you're watching this as a colleague, please don't drop your prices in bad times, because it's the worst thing you can do, because it just sets a precedence. And what happens is, I can guarantee you, whoever's put that cheaper price in, they'll get the job. They will have underpriced it. They'll get in trouble halfway through the job, and the job won't get finished. They'll either go bankrupt or something like that. A customer will get left with a bad taste in their mouth, and then it has a knock-on effect of everyone hates builders. Because the majority of customers out there, all they're concerned about is the price, not the value that's given. You know what I mean? There's a saying, and this was taught to me by one of my mentors in property, a guy named Jamie York, and he used to always say, price is what you pay and value is what you get. And there's never a true word that's spoken. So, and it's right, you know what I mean? Everyone who just drops the price, yes, we've got to be realistic. You know what I mean? I've had subcontractors that have worked for me that have got silly sometimes on their pricing, and it's way above where it should be. They just get a little bit greedy sometimes, which is fine, you know what I mean? We all want to earn as much as possible, but we've got to be realistic. And our price was realistic based on our overheads, based on, you know what I mean, what we need to earn to be a profitable company, so that this time next year we're still here. Like this guy who's underpriced, he won't be here in a few years, because if he keeps doing that, he won't make a profit, and he'll get to a point where he'll either go bankrupt or they'll just give up because they're doing it for nothing. So yeah, having these quotes refused, and it seems to have been going on now for, I'd say, about 12 months. It's getting a bit scary. So I'm sat here and I'm actually making this video and, you know, and doing this whole YouTube vlog thing because I want to try and grow the company. But today's actually made me question whether I should be trying to grow anything at the minute. I should be battening the hatches down, going back to me and a small team on site, which is horrible to think of. But whether I need to make that decision or not, just for the short term, till we come out the other side of this, I don't know, but it's a decision that I need to contemplate. Thanks for watching this episode, guys, and make sure you come back next week to see what we do decide the direction of this company actually is based on what you've just seen. If you want to see last week's video, guys, click up there. And if you want to see a video what you've not seen before, click up there. And if you want to subscribe, guys, which is absolutely amazing if you do, because it helps us bring this content to you, click down there. And I'll see you again next week. Cheers, guys.